Hi everyone, and welcome back to the official channel for Alpha-born Art. So as promised, this is my 4 top building techniques video remastered. I'm going to make the echo later, it's going to sound shit hot. And this is now going to be for the 2020 version, okay? So the last video was done 9-10 months ago from when this video is published. So let's get into it. Essentially, it was mostly aimed at the unofficial community, but because of that, the official guys are now jumping up and down, acting like they're missing out on a free candy bar. So I said that I'm going to remake it and remaster it. So, here today. One of the tips in that video was syncing foundations, which does work on official and unofficial. The second one was essentially not putting a tech gen on the foundation, it was put it on a floor. Which I'm actually going to show you today how you can vault drop that and with multiple vaults. And then there was one about how to build a bridge without using loads of pillars, which I already made a video of that last week, so I'm not going to re-demonstrate that in this video. And then of course there was the Behemoth gate trick versus a normal wall. A lot of people keep popping up saying vault drop, vault drop, vault drop. But in the video I stated if you can't vault drop yet, or if you're not quite ready, or if you're on a non-official with tons of behemoths, this is something that you can do, this is something that you can try. So these top tips are not necessarily do these instead of something else. These are just simply to give you other options, other things to experiment with, and other things to help you guys grow. That's essentially why I'm making my videos. I'm sharing the information that I have on Arc, so you guys can expand on it. So let's have a quick look. So as you can see, we've sunk the foundations, not too far. I wouldn't recommend going below the mesh, because then you could be risking getting banned, and no game's worth getting banned over really. But if you didn't see the last video, all you need to do is put down a foundation, put down a pillow inside, pick up the foundation, put down a second foundation next to it, pick up the pillar, put the pillar in, put a new foundation down, and just keep going until you get lower. This is also really helpful for racers, quetzals, rafts, anything with a platform you can sink the foundation on. The perks to sinking the foundation on a platform is then while riding that platform you can mount and dismount as you need to, rather than having to come out of your structure to then obviously get near the ankles or the feet or whatnot and clicking to mount it then. Second one was the tech gen. Now of course on official you have what we call, I believe, collision settings or something to do with that, but basically you can't do this, but there are little ways around it. Some know the ways around it, and these are the guys who pretty much laugh at everyone who say, yo, this can't be done, because they know it can be done. So I can't put a foundation there. On unofficial or a server with no collision settings, I can put a foundation there, and I'd just put a vault down. If you're on official, however, the best way to vault drop one of these, let's just get some element in there, prove this does work. So, personally, you don't have to build this type of square, but I recommend it, and I'm going to explain as to why in a second. We've got our generator powered, we're going to place a wall, we're going to place a ceiling. We're now going to place a vault. Now, I can do one vault, and that's pretty good. Or I can spend a bit more time and very carefully try and place, or try and fit, 4 vaults. Now this does have a lot of pros and cons. 4 vaults means technically once a week or once a month, depending on how much element you've put in your generator, you may need to demo 4 vaults and replace them, so you can put more element in. If vaults, however, are not really an issue for you, then this is more helpful. So once we've done this, all we need to do now is demo the wall. And as you can see, the vaults have actually fallen through the foundations. Okay, so let me just demo this foundation so you can see. So if you took your time and you placed these really well, you should or could make it so there's no gap whatsoever. So, plus, no one can actually get to your generator. Downside, you can't even get to your generator to put more element in which case you're going to need to refill by demoing the vaults, putting more in, and then that's where this kind of layout structure is already helpful, because if I wanted to do more vaults whether I've demoed them or whether I'm just adding on top, I can actually just do this now. So, ceiling. There we go. There we go. Yeah, that'll do. So because the foundations are there, I can already overplace where I did the first time round. Okay, so like I said, if you'd already demoed the first 4 vaults, that would be how you replaced them. If you wanted to do what I've done now, which is stick so much element in the generator you've got nothing to worry about, you can obviously stack up the vaults quite easily, as you can see. And now, if you did stack this up, because everything's got pros and cons, okay? If you did stack this one up and a raider was to demo one of the vaults, the one on top falls down. Okay, so that is a good way of adding extra HP to your generator. But now, the one that everyone's been asking about, and this one's a bit strange. So 2019, my old tribe mates contacted me and they said it still works. 2 weeks ago I tested it on ALTHO, which is a non-official, because a lot of people have been asking about splash damage. In that scenario we did not take any splash damage on the under layers. The gates side by side did take splash damage, and in that scenario of course I could stack multiple times. Now here's the interesting thing on official settings now in 2020. One, as you can see, I have placed them down with walls, okay, so it's not the whole collision side of it. But as you can see, it's now red all along, which means I can't place in between. That would make sense if this didn't happen. So, there we go. So now I can't place in between, but I can stack on top. And just to show you that this is actually stacking, this is actually doing technically what I want it to do. There goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's stacked. I can't place in between the behemoths now, but I can stack them. So that tells me there is a way to do this. There is a way to create the behemoth wall that I mentioned before. I'm not really going to fiddle around to try and figure out how to do it right now, because like I said, I haven't got the patience for official anymore. But at the very least, one, on official it shows this wall is a lot harder to build, yes. But 2, if I can stack, I can do it. So I don't know if you guys want to fiddle around with this on official maybe and just play around a bit, but surely it should be all or nothing. I mean, why can I stack this? And if you look in the centre there, 2 behemoths have slightly merged over, so the collision isn't 100%. Maybe they tried to fix this, or I don't know, because look, even now, look, I can't place it there. But I can place there. So, like I said, that tells me that this can be done on official somehow, but you're going to need a type of a knack to it, you're going to need a type of trick to it. So, as mentioned at the start, the video I made was not aimed at official. There were some things in there that can be done on official, but it was essentially aimed at non-official, because obviously that's what I play now, and I was trying to help non-official players learn how to do things that some people from official don't know how to do. So again, this one, sinking foundations, tick and tick, that one works on both official and non-official. Vault dropping, for anyone who didn't know, and multi-vault dropping, minus a slightly different technique, again, tick and tick, that one can be done. Generator can go on the floor, does not need to go on a foundation, so do not put them on foundations. Behemoth wall, I'm going to say a no for official for now. I might come back to this and practice it at some point when I get bored enough, but apart from that, I'm going to say no to official, but yes to unofficial. So, let's now pop back to Alphaborn, and I'm actually going to show you guys my experiments with this. I'm going to get it built. I'm going to show you how to build a secret door, because that's one of the main questions. I'm going to explain how the secret door could help, but at the same time could create a weak point. And then I'm going to see if I can get a couple of guys to come over, and we're going to start smashing these walls with mechs, and we're going to start smashing them with alpha plethora, and we're going to do it with C4 and rocket. I'm going to record every single second of it so you guys can make up your own damn minds. So, stay tuned, and we're back in 2 seconds. Okay guys, so here we are back on Alphaborn. We are in the triple waterfall on Rag. So here I've kind of built a small demonstration. I haven't bothered with the hatch frames or the turrets, but essentially, as you can see, I've Behemoth the entire wall, and I've basically made 2 different ways in. There is a third one that requires water, and I'll explain that in a second, but just for say just here, this is one or two of the ways that you can build this. So, as you can see, I have a door. Now, as mentioned in the comments in the last video, that has created a slight weak point. But it's not so weak in the sense that they can just walk straight through. They still need to tank all the bullets, or they still need to try and get to the door. And as you can see, even above the door is Behemoth. And the way that I've actually done that is, instead of putting a fence foundation on the foundation itself, I've actually put the foundation up on a ceiling. And then I did one more ceiling over there on the left, and that means that I can place Behemoth up higher now. Now, if you didn't want to do it that way, the second thing that you can do, let me just demo this quickly. This one you will need to rely on grappling hooks, or some type of way of getting up a tiny bit higher. So let's just pretend, or let's just say that the door isn't there. So this is your whole wall. Now, from a raiding perspective, when they come here and they're tanking, wait for the rubble to disappear. That looks like there's no way through, and that's how this one works. Okay, like I said, it's a lot easier for you to come out, but it's a bit harder to get back in unless you unless you use grapples, or unless you use some sort of small dino that can fit. But as you can see, so imagine here the raiders are tanking. They don't see a way in. You, however, being the person that built this, you know that if you come over to the right and you come up onto this little ledge, and behind the behemoths you actually have a dino gate, and that is, your way in and out. Now, of course, if you actually come out this way to defend, you're going to be giving this position away. But even with that being said, if a raider sees you coming out here, they're still not going to know 100% what is behind there. They're going to look. If you give away the position, they're going to look. But as you can see at first glance, I know obviously top left you can probably say, oh, there's a hole there. I didn't worry about blocking the entire room. I just wanted to get the video made. And there's also a new player on the server who's he's waiting to build in this cave. I was halfway through building this wall. He came and picked me. The cheek of it, man. I can't even build a wall on my own cluster without someone picking me. No, I'm only playing. He agreed that he can wait until the video is done, so that's nice of him. I'm actually going to sort him out some stuff afterwards for being patient. But yeah, so as you can see, if you did choose this kind of route of how to build, behind the wall you build everything. So as long as you're using the same snap points, then you can actually build a staircase down, which makes it nice and easy to get out. But like I said, to get back in, you're going to need a grapple, or you're going to need a tech suit if you're ready for, if you're at that level. You're going to need some sort of little flyer like a PT. I believe a PT could fit up there. A griffin could probably land up here. But yeah, and again, you can even, if you don't want to use a dino gate because it's such a big entrance, you can also use a normal door. But again, you'll be obviously relying on cryos, or relying on some way of getting dinos out of the base without actually flying them out. Next, I don't know why I put a cliff plaque here. I just put a cliff plaque because I was going to keep building, but I think we've had enough basically of the building side of it. So next, as you can see, we have a standard vault dropped death wall or kill wall. I've only done 3 rows of vaults, And I'm not saying this is all based around caves, but this is based around land and caves. So in here we've got 6 times damage. This is the weakest these walls are going to be. Okay, so if you choose to use these on land, then you're going to find it more beneficial than in a cave. But some caves are harder to block than others. So because of that, I've gone with, like I said, 3 rows of vaults. Not all caves have massive entrances. Some of them you can't even get 3 rows of vaults in. So in the initial video, the tip was the Behemoth wall against a normal wall, but people started talking about vault dropping. I'm not saying do the Behemoth trick over vaults. I'm saying do the Behemoth trick over normal walls. Okay, if you're just going to put a normal wall up, just a foundation and a wall with a hatch frame on, then you're better off layering it with Behemoths, adding an extra 20k HP. Is that correct? I've got my HUD turned off. Yep, 20k. So right now let's actually have a look at who does what, and then in a bit I'll get some mechs and we'll have some fun with them. So right now, let's just say 1c4. Okay, we've got 50k HP, 1c4. Vault goes down to 28k, so nearly half. Okay, that was 1c4. So even vault dropping really in a cave, it's not really taking too much more resources. I mean, 3c4 on a vault, that's 9c4 on that wall. Again, Behemoth, not going to be great because it's 6 times damage. So I think some people got confused and they thought I was saying Behemoths were basically indestructible where vaults aren't. I'm not, I'm just saying this compared to just that is a big difference. Okay, so 1c4 destroys 1 Behemoth. Again, on the wall, 1c4. Well, that's actually on the foundation, but that's alright, the whole thing's going to disappear anyway. You see, so the 6 times is really the thing that cripples everyone here. Now, again, you can go with vaults, or you can, like I said, multi-stack. So remember, this multi-stack method now is actually based towards unofficial, okay? Where you don't have collision settings turned on. So, what you do with this information is entirely your choice. I'm personally just giving you information and hoping that you can adapt it, and you can learn, and you can experiment, okay? Just like the big Behemoth with the doors. So as you can see here, we've got 3 vaults, 3 rows of vaults, and we have the Behemoth. Let me get some guys over. I'll give them both a primitive mech each. Let's see in the 6 times damage which one can last longer on non-official. Let's just have a quick look, see if this does take splash damage or not. Okay. So 1 Behemoth gone. Underlayer, nothing, no splash. But if something is damaged there, it'll be the one next to it. But the one underneath didn't take any splash damage. Very quickly, do you want to tell that guy to stay back or what? So you point the gun at him. Right, so to the viewers again, just a reminder, when I originally said about the Behemoth wall, it was compared to a standard wall with no defences at all. But because some have mentioned vaults compared to Behemoths, today we're going to try and see which one could actually last longer. So we've got your standard 3 row vaults, and then I've stacked multiple Behemoths together, and we've got Akman on the left, CM again on the right. Let's see who can get through the wall faster. There goes seeing which wall will last longer. Right guys, whenever you're ready.
What? Doesn't see a back base, go through both walls, which really needs to fix. Okay, so both now on through hatch frames, they are master on 2. Behemoth still has to look pretty strong. Then so that's 3 bolts in it does now. See, I'm taking a break. He's going to get some. I'll be thinking of alcohol. But yeah, so what we're going to do is we did like sequel checks. Then Behemoth not splash damage underneath the other so they splash damage side by side. Where we put the bolts on together one, next row drops, and the next row. So yeah, essentially it was just a lot of people assumed there would be splash damage underneath, that's why they're saying like Behemoth would work with splash damage. So just trying to see when the vault was dropping quite quickly. Behemoth is still really check. I'll just do it again, these are primitive mechs, okay, I'm not using anything special, I think they have 181 melee each. Yeah, the one's 100 and the one has 500, the other one has 100, completely even. So I didn't keep count, but I believe I've stacked between 10 and 20 Behemoths side by side, so
Now I'm thinking I've made that wall a bit too strong. Because I mean, there's only one row of vaults left. But yeah, I mean, against like say C4, the vault did take in 6 times damage free C4, where the Behemoth did take 1. So in that scenario, yeah, C4 is better, and then that means rockets will be better. But a lot of people said, like, you know, oh, what about the plethora? What about the mech? Even though the mech's been nerfed, let's, you know, I can get the plethora out, but I don't think it's going to be any different to a mech, really. I don't know.
The mech's not actually doing any damage to the wall, which is kind of shit.
Should do.
It's done a bit, but it's not done much.
The vault.
You're at 16.5 out of 18, but you're right, a lot of your hits are, I suppose, missing. Do you guys want to use your cannons if I give you some element?
Yeah.
So that one's still on 20k, like you haven't even damaged it. Is that not glitched? I'm trying to frickin' make a video.
Anything damage?
Yeah, half your shots aren't even being registered, mate. I mean, I built these with large walls rather than normal walls, but that's weird. Do you guys want to see for it?
Is this even doing any damage?
So you both got 75 C4. Let's see who can do what with 75 C4. Whoa! Ackman's is gone. Yeah, I was gonna say blow a few volts if you like. So, like I said, we're trying to show if you can actually make a gap or not. I'm a bit disappointed about the mech glitching because that was kind of the point.
Don't think this should take any damage.
I'm thinking I've stacked too much. Yeah, look, some behemoths disappeared there, but no underlayer splash damage. Ackman's just going C4 crazy. He's like, I'm getting in, I've had enough.
And this is where you...
Yeah, now see if the mech will damage them. Maybe not the Behemoth wall, but at least the bolts. Yeah, there you
The
go.
bolts, I'm pretty sure they will, yeah. But I don't know.
I haven't heard of any other nerfs for the mech since, but could they have nerfed him again?
Possibly.
They won't nerf him against walls though, surely.
I mean, you'd be surprised.
I don't think anyone can ever be surprised with this game anymore, can they? Ooh!
Oh,
How much C4 was that?
only 8.
8?
Yeah. Didn't expect that.
Huh?
Didn't expect 8 to do that much damage.
No, no. Right guys, so as you can probably tell from my voice in the video, I did get a little irritated with the fact that for some reason the mechs just wasn't damaging the metal walls. They could take on the vaults, and a few behemoths did get damaged, but apart from that, somehow they had glitched. There's no admin command to make structures undestroyable, so I'm not too sure what happened. So in the end we went to C4. Take from it what you will. It's not it wasn't a full experiment as I would like the results to be, but as you did see, the vault wall did drop with C4 faster than the behemoths. So I do apologise again guys, I'm particularly not happy with this video or the outcome of it, but I guess it's just I got arced. So I'll keep trying to get your results and your answers, but hopefully you found parts of this video helpful anyway, and I still stand by it on non-official at very least. If you can do stacks of say 50 behemoths each or 100 behemoths each, that is going to last a lot longer than a standard wall or even clearly a vault wall. So until next time, I'll see you on Alpha Born.